What is up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. And today we are not doing a Magic Watch Ball episode. Can't do a Watch Ball episode if I don't have any questions, right? I don't know how many of you saw last week's episode. It was live. It was my attempt at doing live, but just I don't know. I don't like doing live. I guess I don't know if I don't like it or whatever it is. Anyway, so today it is the end of the year. It is Friday night, and we're going to talk about just the year and what's on your wish list. Do you have watch goals for 2023? So today I am wearing my Omega S&P 300 on a baby blue leather strap, rubber strap, leather. Jeez, I'm going to see how this starts tonight. All right. Anyway, let's roll the intro and we'll talk about it.
You're watching Timepieces with Tony. Talking Timepieces with Tony. You're watching Talking Timepieces with Tony. Yeah.
All right. So I hope everyone's having a drink. It is obviously the end of year. Yummy. Coors Light. Rock on. All right. So I just kind of wanted to talk. This year, was a very interesting year. Normally, I don't say, well, it was a really bad year. Fuck it. I can't wait for this year to be over like everyone else you see on Facebook or whatever. And it's just kick 2022 in the ass. Fuck 2022. Every year, it's the same people saying the same shit, man. It's like, dude, it must really suck having to say that every year. I've always been, no, my year's been good, except for this year, 2022. Started off good. Watch wise, I did really well. I bought a lot of watches this year. I lost my previous watch channel that I had due to Google and getting locked out of my account for some reason. They had a different phone number associated with me, which I don't know how that's possible. I've had the same phone number for 25 years. So it's just what it is. I was really bummed. I wasn't sure I was going to continue. I, again, had that channel since about 2016, end of 2016, very early 2017, maybe. The first watch I ever did a review on was my Oris, and can't remember. It was a limited edition piece, but it was a beautiful watch, and that's where I started. In fact, when I started, there was the only person I ever really remember watching back in those days on YouTube was our Archie Luxury. Um, so having said that, I'd lost my channel. I wasn't sure I was going to continue. I reconnected with my little sister, which was awesome in a weird sort of way. We emailed maybe once a year, Happy Christmas or Happy Thanksgiving or something like that. And earlier this year, I didn't realize she was into watches. Again, this is earlier on this year. And then it just turns out she's knows more about Omega watches than anybody I know, or at least anybody I've ever seen on YouTube, even with doing watches on Omega. So it's been great. We've sort of just have a great relationship now. I mean, she doesn't live in town, so I don't see her that often, but she's a beautiful person, and I love her to death. And other than that, just the health issues I've had, I just want to get this resolved because this year has been terrible. Not just with my back, but a few other things that. But I am getting my back taken care of. But in order to get that done, I have to get an epidural first, which is it's what it is. It's a deep process, and I have to take medication for my heart, which then I have to come off that medication for about 3 days prior. Anyway, all this stuff, it's just been a fucked up year. Apart from my watches, I got a lot of nice watches, so I can't complain, right? So I always say stay positive and stay happy. And so today, oh, and also with the stickers and the buttons, I've gotten every order out apart from one. I think his name's Robert. Robert, your order is going to go out tomorrow if you're watching this. So I apologize. It was just a really, really crazy week this week. So anyway, wanted to talk about watch goals. I don't know. I've never had watch goals per se. There's watches that I want and I just buy them or I don't buy them or whatever it is. And but I thought, well, you know what? I got a lot of nice watches this year, and I wanted to talk about maybe some of the watches the top 7 watches I want to get. I say top 7 I want to get this year. I have, uh, I'm sorry, 20 this year. I did purchase far more than 7 watches, but I'm not saying I'm going to purchase all 7 next year because I'm just going to have to cut back a little bit. I just don't. It's not making it's the money thing too. You know what I mean? I'm not rich. Look around. Um, However, I love where I live. So anyway, I hope you're still watching and didn't lose interest. But I appreciate everyone who likes and subscribes, and I hope you continue. And for new viewers, please like and subscribe my videos. I really appreciate it. When I lost my other channel this year, I just didn't think I was going to continue. And one of the positive things was my little sister. She encouraged me to just start again. You start with 1 subscriber at a time. And I've only had this channel for about 7 months, 7 months, I think. And I exceeded my expectations for this year. So I really appreciate you guys. Got my Rolex pen. Love this pen. Love my Omega. All right, so on my watch list for 2023, I'm keeping it kind of simple. I've been looking at and this is no specific order, the IWC Mark 18, the Petite Prince, or the Mark 20. They just came out with the Mark 20. That's almost $1,000 more. But at the same time, it's just pure, straight, simple, freehand, date aperture at the 3 o'clock. And it's a great sort of, it's a pilot watch or field watch, even, whatever you want to call it. But it's just something I've been looking at for a long time. IWC in general, I've been looking at for quite some time. And I had one once a long time ago. Can't remember which one it was. So I actually still have an IWC strap, leather strap, a Santoni strap, I think they're called. Beautiful straps. Another one that I've had in the past is Zenith El Primero. Just the basic Zenith El Primero as a 3-hand is awesome. Love it with the open heart. But I also, again, I'm not really so much into chronographs because I don't use that function, but it's just nice to have and nice to look at on the wrist. So I was thinking about, I'm still thinking about one of those. It's just some of these watches are on my radar and I keep meaning to buy them. And then next thing you know, I move on. No, I'll get it. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, the resale value on it sucks. And that's a terrible reason to get into it, man. I don't buy watches to resell or anything like that by any stretch. But the thing is that, if something came down to it and if you had to sell, then, because I got tons and tons of watches that aren't worth shit, you know what I mean? But that's okay. You know what I mean? This Timex I just bought, the titanium, what was it, $350 or something like that. I wouldn't put it this way. There was some hype on this watch, oh, it's a Hamilton killer or something like that. No, Hamilton's far better than this. I bought this based off of the fact of nostalgia of Timex when I was a kid, but I wouldn't recommend this as a reliable everyday piece for what is intended for this watch. It doesn't keep good time at all. JLC, another one, Master Control, man. And I even bought one. You guys remember if you watched the video, and I was really bummed when I sent it back because it had the silver dial with the silver hands. It was not legible to me whatsoever. So I just want to get the one I want. I love JLC. I think they're so underrated, and I think they should be so much higher up. They've got so much history, so much heritage. The watchmaker's watchmaker. I've said this in other videos. It's just, there's such amazing pieces, and and I like simple pieces too. So when you're looking at the Master Control date, $8,700, it's a beautiful piece. I also like the Master Ultra Thin Moon with the moon phase because I do love moon phase movements. So that's another one that's on my radar. Another one would be the Tissot PRX with that mint green dial, that new one. However, it's like Paco in the back. Paco, say hi. Say hello. Hi. Good boy. The Tissot PRX. It's a really nice watch. I really like it. I gave mine away, obviously, to Steel Steez, who won Actually, Strider, one of my viewers in Australia, won the competition for that watch, and he was nice enough to say, "Hey, give it to someone local." So ended up that Steel Steez won the watch. So I hope you like that watch, man, if you're watching this video. And then the next watch would be the Hamilton Khaki Murph 38 millimeter. Um, I love Hamilton. I still have a Hamilton. I've had plenty of khakis. When it first came out, and I do love the movie Interstellar. And so when that watch finally came out, before it came out, there was a wait list basically. This is before wait lists, you know what I mean? And you had to get on, you put your name on the email list, and then when it came out, it came out in this really nice little box and whatever, and it was very limited for that box, that packaging, and I got on that list, and I was offered one of the first ones when it came out, and I actually just declined on it simply because I was like, oh man, 42 millimeters, if they only made it smaller, and blah 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 blah, so the whole thing, and that's so I did decline it, and I'd still been thinking about it, and then the 38 millimeter just came out, and I'm like, going, oh, I got to get it. In fact, I almost bought it several times, and I'm just like, I don't know, should I not, whatever, however it goes. And so, have a sip of beer. Mm. So anyway, having said that, that's my list of what and of course, everything that I just mentioned, probably I'll end up buying something else. This is the way it happens sometimes. And then on top of that, I mentioned earlier that back when I first started YouTube with my previous channel, the only person to watch really was Archie Luxury, Paul Pluto. And so speaking of that, one of my viewers, Strider, sent me an email, and he said, Archie has made a video about me. He's exaggerated quite a bit for dramatization and entertainment purposes, misconstrued my comments and taken them way seriously than how I intended, but then again, maybe he took them seriously. Kind of cool that he respects me enough to do this. Is that what you think, man? We exchanged some text and calls too, but no letter. I guess now I'm famous or infamous. He's so anti-ADs and very pessimistic. Strider, man, here's the thing, dude. Did you pay him for that? Because, all the information that he put out in that video is free information. And you've asked me plenty of questions too. However, I watched the video just because you sent me the message, and I was like, yeah, I'll check it out, and I did. He was actually pretty cool with you, man. I've seen him destroy people, man, and but in this case, he didn't. He was pretty honest with you. I mean, again, I would have said, why would you waste your money with something like that? But the thing is, you're in Australia, I'm in the United States. The only other person YouTuber that I know in Australia is Aussie Wristwatch, and her name's Jessica Liley, and I don't think she would have been any help in a sense because she's really starting her watch journey as well. You know what I mean? Um, so even though you went to him, I mean, granted, it's because you're in Australia, but I think it's still, as far as with the ADs going, it's still pretty much around the world. It's pretty much all the same. You have to develop a relationship with them, man. You know what I mean? He's right. In everything that he said. I mean, apart from the sort of over he's like saying, well, I can't get Rolex at ADs. Most YouTubers can't. You know what I mean? It's like, they most people have to get them on the secondary market. Some do get them on the. I'm not saying all of them. You know what I mean? But some of the things I think he's a little off is where it's like, you have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars before you get your Cermet or whatever. Your Submariner, your black dial, green bezel, black dial, yeah. And that's not, again, I wish I could have my AD on to explain how he handles it, because basically it's how are you as a person? Are you cool? Do you have a good attitude? Do you have a good personality? Are you arrogant? Are you a fucking asshole? What? I don't know. But I can tell you this: when I bought, my relationship with my AD started in 2018. Juan wasn't there. I bought a Datejust. That's when you could walk in and buy pretty much any Rolex you wanted, almost, except for Daytonas and Submariners. But I've said this a million times too. But then again, my next Bindi purchase was in 2021, December of 2020. No, sorry, May of 2021 when I bought a Cartier tank, and then from May to December, we're getting up to 6 months, was the Tudor Black Bay 58, and then so it kind of went from there, you know what I mean? And so it wasn't like it's not like, okay, I didn't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, I spent money, but I was buying watches that I wanted, so you have to just be patient, man. Get you know that's just, it's one of those things. So having said all that, we're getting up into about 15 minutes here in this video. I wish everybody a great watch journey in 2023. If you have questions for the watch ball for next time, then I'll answer them. But and I want to try to make that more fun as well. Um, and then tell me what watches you want. What's on your list? What are you looking for? What are your dreams for 2023 as far as watches go? It doesn't have to be a Rolex. It doesn't have to be a Patek Philippe. It could be a Casio, G-Shock, whatever it is. What are your goals? Comment. We'll talk about it. Like, subscribe. You guys are awesome. And I hope you have a wonderful, happy new year. I think this will be my last video of the year. So let's get 2022 out of the way, start 2023. And again, happy new year. Let's have a drink real quick. Cheers. You guys rock.